In the Italian city of Verona, two noble families, the Montagues and the Capulets, have been feuding for generations. Their hatred runs so deep that street brawls frequently break out between their servants and supporters. Amid this conflict, an unexpected and passionate love blossoms between two young souls, Romeo Montague and Juliet Capulet, leading to one of the most famous tragic love stories of all time. Romeo, a young Montague, is heartbroken over his unrequited love for a woman named Rosalind. His cousin Benvolio and friend Mercutio convince him to attend a Capulet masquerade ball in disguise to help him move on. At the ball, Romeo lays eyes on Juliet, the beautiful daughter of Lord Capulet. They instantly fall in love, unaware of each other's identities. When they discover they belong to enemy families, they are devastated but too deeply drawn to each other. That same night, Romeo sneaks into Juliet's garden, where they confess their love in the famous balcony scene, and vow to be together despite their family's hatred. Determined to be together, Romeo seeks help from Friar Lawrence, who agrees to marry them in secret, hoping their union will end the feud. With the help of Juliet's nurse, they are wed the next day. However, their happiness is short-lived. Tybalt, Juliet's hot-tempered cousin, is furious that Romeo attended the Capulet ball. He challenges Romeo to a duel, but Romeo, now related to Tybalt through marriage, refuses to fight. Instead, Mercutio fights Tybalt in Romeo's place. During the fight, Tybalt fatally wounds Mercutio. Enraged, Romeo avenges his friend by killing Tybalt. As a result, Prince Aeschylus banishes Romeo from Verona, sentencing him to exile in Mantova. Before leaving, Romeo and Juliet spend their wedding night together, sharing their final moments of happiness. Meanwhile, Juliet's parents, unaware of her secret marriage, arrange for her to marry Count Paris. Desperate to avoid marrying Paris, Juliet seeks help from Friar Lawrence. He gives her a potion that will make her appear dead for 42 hours. The plan is for Romeo to retrieve her from the tomb once she wakes. On the morning of her wedding to Paris, Juliet drinks the potion and is declared dead. Her grieving family lays her in the Capulet tomb. However, Friar Lawrence's message explaining the plan never reaches Romeo. Romeo hears of Juliet's death, and, believing it to be true, buys poison from an apothecary. He returns to Verona and enters the Capulet tomb. There, he finds Juliet's seemingly lifeless body. Overcome with grief, he drinks the poison and dies beside her. Moments later, Juliet awakens to find Romeo dead. Heartbroken, she takes Romeo's dagger and stabs herself, dying in his arms. The tragedy brings immense sorrow to both the Montagues and Capulets. Devastated by the loss of their children, they agree to end their feud, honoring Romeo and Juliet's love with a golden statue. Romeo and Juliet's love story remains one of the most famous tragedies of all time. It is a tale of passionate love, fate, miscommunication, and the destructive power of hatred. Their love was strong enough to break the barriers of their feuding families, but fate had other plans. For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.